All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Princes of Azemar, Season 5, Episode 27, The Black Temple. Bum, bum, bum.
Oh, Black Temple, never good.
All right. Let's start with a round of intros that I'm totally going to F up because it's not the full party. In the top left, played by our friend in Brandon. You can't hit him, he's too smart. It's Burnham Shortwick.
Not used to being first.
Up next in the top right, our friend Bobby playing the warlock with more vices than virtues, Koros Ravenrock.
He's a goat.
He's also a goat. Last,
I am
but
the goat.
certainly not least, it is our friend Lincoln playing, formerly known as Dirk Courage, the fashion dragon himself, Nadam Il-Rio Nazir.
Last as always, keeping it easy.
All right. I think I did not too badly on that. Let's start. Let's get some recap. So, 2 weeks ago, we had the whole party here, and we played Battle for West Azemar, which is a fun little board game that I made. I hope everyone enjoyed it.
Coming this fall from Hasbro.
I
Still
wish.
around.
Oh, shit. I hit a button.
Hasbro owns the game we're playing.
There you go. They're still around, guys. Who knew?
I accidentally hit the Into the Black button, so it showed Into the Black for a second. Tune in on Mondays, because that's when we do that.
Plane shift.
All right. So, we played some Battle for West Azemar. My mic seems like it's really hot. Let me just check the settings there real quick. I think I adjusted it when Lily was using my microphone, and I don't think I adjusted it back. Sorry, everybody. 1 second. Yep, I didn't
Fry
adjust
an
it.
egg on it.
That's a little better. All right. Sorry. So, you guys fought a bunch of battles with orcs. You liberated a bunch of the cities of West Azemar, and you were, Nadam, you had this desperate defense of Kavito, with these mages, you and these mages holding off several orcish armies.
And the remnants of the human army, everyone's all bedraggled and wounded. Everybody's wounded.
Mm-hmm. And right when you all were about to join up with the rest of the party and march the army down towards Zengrata to go fight Roosball, Koros, your friend Donavar came to you. And this was strange because he stayed behind in Angate. And you were very, very far away. You were in Jedran, I believe. And he came up to you, and you were like, what the fuck? And he was like, look, your friends are all going to die, and they're not going to be able to take Zengrata unless you come with me to the north. You and me and Burnham and the dragon need to go deal with something to the north.
I love dealing with things.
So, you took his word for it. Y'all teleported around. And then...
The way you say it like that makes me think we made a mistake.
No, you did not make a mistake. We did that one already.
Why would we trust you?
We did the, Jake tricking all of you episode when Zavarin got Emerald arrested.
I just start breaking things.
I'm taking this as a reassurance that we're not ever doing one of those again and that we're safe forever.
All right. And with that, you got everything together. Now, the one question I have for you before you teleport away is whether or not you were bringing the mages with you or sending the mages along to meet up with the rest of the armies to Zengrata, the mages that were with Nadam.
They can't take their Hydra
They're
lung.
nonsense through teleportation, so they should go
Cool.
away.
Yeah.
Awesome. They do that. All right, and you all teleport. Donavar writes the symbols of a teleportation circle and hands them to you, Burnham. You study the runes. You dial it in. You all find yourselves standing in the ruins of what must have once been a resplendent city. You see ash and sand around. Like there used to be these massive glass structures that were turned back into sand and ash as if everything else burned away. There is not a living thing in sight. No trees, no grasses, not even weeds protruding through this harsh landscape.
What? Where did you take us?
Donovar says, good, there are no prying eyes here. And he drops a spell, and Koros, you recognize the familiar shape of Titavilus. The original
good, a devil.
you made
Key
your
of the
pact
elevator.
with. This devil who
Devil of elevator.
who rebelled against Dispater, and Dispater was very mad at.
Oh no, I'm not getting into your devil business.
Well,
Burnham,
you're
I
stuck here
think
now.
we're in the devil business.
And he says, oh, leave your superstitions behind you. I'm here to help.
Why are you on his side with him?
Owned. Well,
What's wrong with you?
And he says, the source of Roostball's power and his connection to the abyss lies ahead. You all, of course, will want to disconnect him from that power so that your friends can take Zengrata and defeat him.
sounds about right.
What are we looking for? All I'm seeing is a lot of ash and dead trees.
And he says, we're looking for a place called the Black Temple.
That
Is
does
it
sound
under
like
all
a
the
place that would
trees?
be a nexus of dark power.
I feel like I heard that just minutes ago.
And he says, I don't know its precise location, but I know it's here in this city.
We might as well get looking.
He says, lead the way.
When-
Sure, I will. Based on what he's told me to look for, I don't know.
I'm
He's
taking it back.
what he's saying is that this place is it's an old temple, a place. In fact, he'll start to explain a bit about this city. He says, long ago, this was a city of the Dusk Elves. It was from here they ruled over their vast empire, creating what they called the lesser races, all of you. Well, not you. He gestures at you, Burnham.
Thank you.
And he says, the dwarves have older ancestry. But
Weirdos.
the various varieties of elves, humans, the Dragonborn, all creations of the Dusk Elves. And he's beginning to go on and tell you a bit more about this city when from the roofs of some of these ruins, you see two orcs jump off of the roof and land in front of you with their weapons out. And then behind, half a dozen more jumping to your sides and behind you, surrounding you. And the one in the front shouts, "Halt, vile servants of Roostball!" And he says,
Say what now?
"You will do his bidding no further. Drop your weapons where you are."
Wait, hold up. I know that this may look bad, but only he's the weird one, the devilly guy with the horns. Red skin. That shite.
Okay, so you don't mean me.
Shit,
And he
I
says,
say-
"All of you bringing demons back here."
I say, we are no servants of Roostball. We just come from battle with him.
and the
That's
demon
exactly
brought
one of
us.
the. That's exactly what a servant of Roostball would say.
And it's
Oh,
just
God.
one demon if you think about it.
And he's technically a devil.
Yeah, you're wrong on like all counts, dude.
Say, no, it's true. He took the home of some people we care about, and we've been taking it back. We've beaten him and his army back to one castle, but apparently he has some sort of nexus of power here we must disconnect him from before we can defeat him fully.
And he says, "Then why are you walking around with demons?"
Devil, technically, they're different flavor.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Like orcs and bugbears. Very different, right?
Yes, of course.
Devils and demons. Very different, but similar in some ways.
But orcs and bugbears both serve Roostball.
Do they? I haven't seen any bugbears.
You have seen bugbears.
Oh, well, I would not have made that analogy. Then I would have been like dragons and wyverns. Different.
Really?
Yeah, just big winged ugly lizards with scales, right?
Yeah.
There
one
haven't
is
been
smart.
dragons in Azemar for centuries.
I
In
don't think of an analogy this guy will
in
understand.
the
Goblins
east,
and
there
orcs?
have been metallic dragons, which you're familiar with, but
I say, don't worry about it. We don't serve Roose Paul. We really don't like him.
prove it. One of them says.
How would you like me to prove it?
What? Do you want us to step on a picture of him? What's your play here?
Ugly. He's got a silly name.
They're looking at each other and they're
Zombies are gross.
Listen, you.
Oh, zombies mostly orcs. I've killed lots of those.
aye.
If you
I'm
think
probably
that,
covered in orc blood.
if you all think that I'm going to side with demons, well, all right, I see who I'm walking with. But if you think I'm going to stand for orc filth in my midst,
Random, please.
you'll have to fight me. Wait, I don't want to fight them. Never mind, you won't have to fight me.
He just teleported. He's all woozy.
Yep.
So
Well-
I just came off of like a desperate defense against a bunch of orcs, right?
Yeah,
This is
you
a
are drenched in orc blood.
phenomenal.
Can I be like, here? What kind of blood is this?
One of them leans in. Oh, yeah, that's orc's blood.
So I've probably
Well-
been fighting lots of orcs, right?
Perhaps then you are not vile servants of Roose Paul.
No, we are just vile enemies of Roose Paul
And Burnham.
and Burnham.
Use a vial of bathwater like that, no?
And he says, then what brings you here to Eitzel?
I believe I mentioned some sort of black temple. Maybe you've heard of it.
Ah, the Black Temple. That's where all the vile servants of Roose Paul go.
Yeah, hopefully we can go kill them. Would you like to help?
We're all for the killing of vile servants of Roose Paul.
If I
Aye,
was a vile servant of Roose
he
Paul,
what
would you
fucked
think
up the
I'm
old
glorious?
economy. Orcs it, that's what I say.
I love this guy.
There's like 3 different guys talking.
No, I love the one who's like, I fucked up the economy. I've got loans. I don't know what loans are.
He says, look at all this blood that I got. And he shows you like both arms covered in little tattoos.
Yeah, inflation.
That's right, can't even afford a decent meal anymore. No room left on my arms.
Adventuring's not bad work if you can get it. You might die.
So what you think we're doing here? And that's all right. We will take you to the Black Temple, and there you can prove that you're not vile servants of Roose Paul by destroying it. They all
I'm
look at
fine
each
with
other.
Why
that.
not?
Oh, do I have
That
any
works
bombs?
for me.
Do I have any bombs left in my bag from? No. Damn it.
I think destroying it sounds perfectly. And if we come out and we haven't destroyed it or like damaged it in a significant way, we can fight or something.
Oh, that sounds good.
Fair. Good deal.
What if we don't? Never mind.
All right, but no tricks.
I don't know
I
any
have-
good ones.
What were you saying, Corvus?
I was gonna say I've never played a trick in my life, so I wouldn't worry about it.
He means it every time he lies.
Honest, straight shooter.
The group of orcs eyes you warily, but they start leading you through the city in a different direction. Some of them are like starting to try and think of questions to ask you to prove that you're not vile servants of Roose Paul.
I happily answer them.
But they're all
frequently,
things that you could like
confidently.
easily lie about. Like, if you was attacking a city and Roose Paul showed up,
Uh-huh.
would you run or fight him?
I would run, find a trebuchet, and then fight him with the trebuchet.
Haven't thought of that one.
The Nom is having a great time.
They go with several more questions in that realm that just don't
They
give.
all start with if you was attacking a city.
Yeah.
And there were
I would
zombies.
posit that orcs have a limited life experience.
If you was attacking a city and there were zombies, would they be on your side or the city's side?
I'd kill the zombies.
Yeah, no, that's a given.
Have you tried? And I don't mean to, tell you your business. I'm sure you know this. Rather than attacking cities, Attack like outlying farms, like small trade settlements.
What's the point of that? Oh, that's 1 or 2 blood debts. Maybe
There's
a
plenty of money
half
in it.
dozen if you're lucky. You seen me arms?
Do I look in? I try to look in and find a dragonborn.
You see, he's got such a variety, and they're dense. Like, you've seen the size that these things usually are, and his are maybe half the size of that for them to all fit. There's a couple. There's like, if you can think of a race, it's on there.
They
Like,
rescale like it's a PDF.
exactly. They flow and rescale as he fills it up.
Oh. Cool. Follow our new work friends and answer their silly questions.
Eventually leads you to you find it's the ruins of this old large complex. Just little bases of foundation in the walls there, dust and ash. Besides, as you're walking along the way, you hear there's a few orcs in the back. They're speaking in Orcish. I think Nadam, you understand what they say anyway.
I do.
Because you're magic. You hear the ones asking the other if he still got the food from before, and he says, "Oh yeah," and he tosses it to him. And when he takes a bite, you see. He spits. All the food just turned to ash in his mouth. And he's an orc. Damn, I forgot. The curse. And then he tosses the jerky back to the other orc.
They're not clever.
Just that's a strange thing you pick up on. Otherwise, there's a bit of conversation among them. They're trying to decide. A lot of the ones that don't speak common are trying to decide what they think as to whether or not y'all are servants of Rooseball. One's like, well, I ain't seen too many Dragonborn. Servant Rooseball is, aye, but what if that's not what he really is, right?
Never know.
They can definitely be confident that I am what I look like, which is a rakishly charming half.
Which is a liar.
All right. And eventually they come to the edge of these ruins, and you see there is this this small structure that protrudes. It's one of the few structures that still seems intact. It's maybe the size of just like a small like foyer almost. It's very tiny, with this massive metal door. The metal door is sealed, like bolted all around. No sign of hinges or handles. It appears to be made of iron.
And is it like a double door that comes together?
No, it looks
Or is
like
it
it's
one door?
one door, no hinges, no handles, bolted all the way around.
You ever tried going in here before?
And they say, we ain't been able to.
You ever seen one of those vile servants of Roose Paul do it?
Plenty.
What do they do? Just it opens?
Magic.
Oh.
They go to one side, they touch the door, they appear on the other side.
Oh.
Burnham, you have magic. Do some.
We haven't been able to
magic
figure out
at
what they're doing yet.
I
And
go up and I touch
Tidavilas-
the door.
Tidavilas goes, this is why we brought the dragon along. Use your breath.
Oh. I thought it would be magic.
It's iron.
Oh, well, fine. Blah.
As you do, the iron door melts away, rusts, turns to flakes. And now mixed in the ground around with the ash and the sand is rust as
Do
well.
the thing where I inhale and like chest gets a little bigger, like it puffs up like a lizard or something. You see the spaces between the scales, and then
Yeah.
it's kind of gross.
The door melts away.
Like a spell slot or anything?
No one like, oi, why didn't we think of that? It's like, because none of us have rust breath, dummy. Oi, yeah, that's right. Let's see.
Ugh.
Well, now we can all go in there.
You want to come with? It's a big party.
They sort of look at each other. Things to kill in there? Tidavilas
We hope so.
There will be
We've never
plenty to
been
kill
there.
inside. All right.
Let's go.
And they follow you in.
You gotta love how obliging and helpful orcs can be.
When there's murder involved.
It's really one of their best qualities.
So you go in the door and it immediately stairs downward, and those stairs open up into a series of hallways. And you realize that this is this massive, ancient underground complex. You see hallways leading off in several different directions. They go quite far. There's doors lining some of them. In the distance, you see another set of stairs leading downward. This place seems massive.
Tide of Violence, do you know what we're looking for?
I don't know the exact details. This complex was something of a laboratory for the Dusk Elves. This is where they created several of the races. And the system that powers all of it is a portal to the Abyss.
Oh,
Roosball
good.
has been using that portal. It is his connection to the Abyss.
Seems like we should close it.
Precisely. This is why I picked you.
Then onward and downward, I suppose.
Cool.
Hopefully there's like a directory.
As you head down and through, the orcs are a few orcs are leading, and they're turning corners and using their axes and like jumping out and trying to see if there's anything. They're not very stealthy. They look like they're
One of
trying
them
to be.
one of them hits a statue.
Yeah.
Ah! Oh no.
No. It's just a statue, boys.
Sorry.
The best part about this is we absolutely do not have to check for traps.
If there were any traps, they will absolutely get set off by the orcs.
I'm gonna
they
let
are
them do that.
loud and rambunctious, and they think they're being sneaky, and they are absolutely not.
One of them is doing the crunk.
Give it up, boys. Great job.
I suppose it was a good idea to bring him along. Who knew?
You come out into a sort of a large open area. You see some tables in here. Everything is worn with age. It seems like it's been centuries or even millennia since anyone has used this space actively. And as you enter the room, you see a few figures or shapes, but they're wispy and thin, almost like echoes or like ghost-like. But as one of the orcs leaps out and tries to slash one, he just passes through it.
It's unusual.
They appear to be sort of moving around in the space. A few of them like taking seats at tables that are still there. A few at tables that are long gone. And they're sort of blurry. They're hard to focus on. They're just sort of wisps of images, of people milling about.
Do they move and speak?
They're moving, and you sometimes see motion near where their mouth would be, but you don't hear anything. There's a few like murmurs, sort of echoey murmurs, as if you're hearing someone far away in a really echoey room.
But nothing
They're
intelligible.
really soft, really not really intelligible.
Well, this is odd. Burnham, ever seen anything like this?
Certainly. Well, I mean, I can take a check, maybe, but I don't think so.
Do like an Arcana check.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know of anything like this.
Set your drop down.
All right.
You haven't seen anything like this before, but you have read about things like this. Certain places sometimes hold like after images, like memories of what was there before. Places with really strong magical connections sometimes.
Could be. I don't know much, but somehow the afterlife or other after planes, I suppose, bleeding into these magical spots. I don't know if it's a haunt or if it's just going to be there. I reckon
Is it dangerous?
I'm not sure.
I go over and kind of try to interact with one of them, but it's just a mist, right?
Yeah, it's not even. It does not even have like a mist. You would pass your hand through and it would move a little. This doesn't even react in that way. You pass your hand through and there's nothing, no reaction.
When I trained at the temple, the spots where the monks would practice were worn with thousands of days of feet on those very spots. I think this is the same thing, only with a place and people.
Don't like that.
We should keep moving. They seem harmless.
Cool. As you head out of this room, this room, after a while of seeing sort of the figures moving around and feeling, you realize this might be some sort of like, almost like a cafeteria, right? Like there's people coming,
Like a common room.
getting food and eating. Yeah, like a common space. And so you pass through here. A couple of the orcs still, slash out at the things as they pass and are very confused. But they follow your lead as you head off down another hallway. And off of another hallway, you come to a staircase and you head down. And as you come down onto this next floor, you find yourself going down a hallway with these. They're almost like jail cells, but they're, instead of like metal bars, it's like solid crystal glass, and not just dividing you in the cell, but completely filled in like an ice cube. And you see various creatures sort of suspended in these crystals lining the sides. You see a variety of races you recognize. You see humans, elves, both high elves, wood elves, sun and moon elves. You see different varieties of those. You see dragonborn. You see those sorts of races. You also see races that you've never seen before. Maybe prototypes of new races that were never finished. These are just like
Maybe something like insectoid or...
Yeah, exactly. You see insectoids, something fish-like, just various varieties of experiments.
Can I go over to one of the Dragonborn cubes?
Mm-hmm.
What do they look like in there?
It looks like you see a Dragonborn female.
Mm-hmm.
Looks fairly normal to you, as what a
Does she
Dragonborn
look like alive? Does this look like she's been embalmed, or is she like just suspended in there? Like
completely suspended in this crystalline structure. Like if you took a person and froze them in a giant ice cube, but it's not cold. It's like glass.
Can I like touch it? Is there like any controls around here, or like? Is
there
it
doesn't
magic?
appear to be any sort of control. When you reach out and you touch the crystal, it glows lightly where your hand is.
It doesn't give. It just starts to glow.
It doesn't give. There's just a soft glow on the crystal where your hand has made contact with it.
And it just follows my hand?
Of it. Yeah, and if you move your hand, that glow just follows your hand.
That's super weird.
Like one of those things where the electricity is shooting out to the edge of the sphere, and you touch it, and like kind of just this little soft glow.
I want to open these. Perhaps on the way out.
When you say I want to open these while your hand is on it, you hear or feel almost a voice in your head that sort of it's more of a feeling than words. Not authorized.
Who can authorize?
Clearance level 7 required.
Who has clearance level 7?
Yeah. Nearest person with clearance level 7.
Let me think about that. It says, checking for chief scientists.
Who in
Negative.
the abyss are you
Checking
talking
for
to?
curators. Negative. Checking for remaining staff. Negative. Searching for nearest dusk elf. I'm gonna get the number wrong, but she says something like 800 miles, 800.437 miles. Or
Yeah,
something.
like a very specific long distance.
Very specific long distance to the nearest dusk elf.
This is my elder spirit talking, but I've got an idea that I'm going to try, and then I'm going to walk away because we got somewhere to be. Specimen release override Halcyon Elysium Chaos 6.
The the crystal sort of responds with like, "That's nonsense."
Worth a shot. uh, and then we can go.
So everything that Nadam just said was out loud. You guys heard no response.
Yeah. Who in the abyss are you talking to? What the hell?
This place seems to be alive or have a mind of its own or something.
Well, then stop touching it.
Why? There's people in there. I was trying to get them to let it out. It doesn't want to because apparently I don't have clearance.
Well,
You can talk to it if you want.
I don't want to talk to it. This place is scary.
I agree. And I'm intrigued. Shall we continue?
I think we shall.
As you continue down the hallway, it branches off into a few different rooms, and you see there's a few rooms where like there's a circle, and you can see like going in the circle around this circular room, various different iterations on the same race. So you see like these are like prototypes that someone was doing. Like, and you can see the early, like concept art for certain kinds of elves.
They're trying to
before
get like elves
became-
just right.
Mm-hmm. And as you go like from left to right around this, clockwise around this room, you can see it go from something not really recognizable to like all the way at the end, what you guys recognize as elves.
So if they were taking like animals and like building them into people, did elves start as like bats or something, and then like end up with the big eyes and the pointy ears and the dark vision?
Not quite, because so Tideviles has told you that like these are dusk elves who ran this place. So at the start, you see something pretty similar to dusk elves.
Oh, okay.
But then there's subtle differences that go
Oh, all
across
right.
there.
Well, not very subtle over here.
The subtle difference is going from a dusk elf to like a wood elf.
I just think it's funny. They're subtle sometimes, but dramatic other times.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. This is fascinating.
You see, there's a few other like hallways leading off to you see this same thing for different races. You see a few different like rooms filled with races that just like don't exist. Things like that.
Certainly good that none of this is still going on.
As far as we know.
Eventually,
Do we see any Yuan Ti in here? Any like snake people?
absolutely, you see a few varieties of snake people. In fact, there's a little wing, just one of these.
Snake
it's
people wing.
It's the snake people wing. You see Yuan Ti, you see not Kostaj, Nagaji, and varieties of other
So weird.
kinds. This almost seems this area like a museum, like
Or maybe an index.
or an index, something like that. Yeah.
The mechanisms of life are not meant to be meddled with like this.
Never seem to stop them.
Why couldn't they just work on rocks like normal people?
That's normal.
As you head around, you basically come to the end. Like all of this floor has been pretty open, but as you come towards the end, you find there's a few doors, and as you go through those doors, you find more stairs leading down. And as you start to head down, behind you on the wall, a crystal embedded in the wall lights up.
Ding!
And you hear that same voice, Nadam, that you heard earlier, and it says now out loud so that everyone can hear. And all the orcs jump and like start wielding their weapons at the crystal.
So does Bear.
Visitors to the museum are not authorized in the lower levels. Please turn around and return to the museum.
I think this is the part where it starts attacking us. We are on business with a curator seeking the power source.
Huge missed opportunity to say a diplomatic mission from Alderaan, but that's okay.
Checking curator's schedule. Last appointment 10,000 years ago.
We're quite late.
Analyzing.
Go!
Logs corrupted. do you guys book it?
Ah!
Warning, calling security.
Well,
There we go.
There it
They're
is.
probably dead.
The crystal turns red.
It's
I say to
dead.
Baronum, this place doesn't seem like the kind of spot with security that breeds.
And all the ambient light in this place that before you, it didn't really have a source, it was just sort of ambiently lit, just turns red. As you book it down the stairs and out the next door into the next floor below.
I don't like magical colors.
As you come out,
I write about it later.
as you come out here, you see there's some movement in the hallway in the distance as you see one of these crystals slides down from the ceiling, and you see frozen in the crystal this massive burly orc, like almost like way more massive and burly than any orc you've ever seen. Easily a few feet taller than the orcs that are with you. And as the crystal touches the ground, it melts away. And he pulls out, pulls off his back this massive great sword.
He's in Jake's house.
And his voice says, "Turn back now!"
Sorry, can't do that. And he says it in common?
Oh, he does.
He says, "Turn back now" in common, and then he repeats it in Orcish. Dulvakcha!
Similar structure to common. Interesting.
Jake just making random syllables.
No, it's good. It's good.
If you want language that I did write some Azemar and Elvish. It exists. We can talk about it later.
And we'll summon Tolkien. It'll be great.
So we're not gonna turn back, unfortunately. So let's just chalk it up to a misunderstanding, and you can let us go on our way past you.
He starts lumbering towards you. He's still many feet.
I think that would work.
Down the hall, and there's like doors and hallways off to your sides.
How big is this chamber we're in?
You're in a chamber. You're in a hallway. It's a wide hallway, like a hospital hallway, like wide and kind of tall. And he's just.
I'm assuming he'd be able to reach me if I were to run on the ceiling or walls.
Yes, it's not that tall, and he's basically fills the whole hallway.
He's probably designed to fill the hallway.
Exactly.
We could go through him, or I could try to take it over his brain. I don't know if he has one of those.
We could try that first and then go around him.
All right. Listen, you dominate person.
Nice. He makes like a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah. One second, let me just click it. There we go. Wisdom saving throw. It looks like I just saw it somewhere.
Yes, wisdom saving throw. What's your DC?
19. Wow.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I got a stat.
He rolled a nat
That's right.
20.
Damn it.
Their psychic conditioning is better than yours.
Are you trying to tell me that wasn't convincing?
You see him like
So there's
shake
like
his
doors
head.
off of this hallway?
Yeah, there's a few doors off of this hallway, and even like at the back, a little bit behind you, because you came through the stairs and then went down this hallway a little bit. There's like a hallway leading off to the left and right.
I say we try to go around him. Maybe one of these doors.
All right, pick a door.
I go in a door.
A few of your orcs sort of stay. They're like, "We'll hold him off."
Have fun!
Very nice of them.
Die, vile servant of Roospa!
Well, I'm glad they're having a good time.
You and the remaining orcs, you guys duck into a room, pull it shut. Some of the orcs see there's like a couple like shelves of they're covered in like cobwebs, but also like vials and things, sort of scientific instruments, arcane instruments, and a couple of the orcs just knock it over. Glass shatters everywhere, but they block
Stuff
the door
combines
with
in interesting ways.
There's like some sparks and a puff of smoke.
I wish we had a wand of identify. That'd be cool. Are there any other doors in this chamber?
Sparrow when you need it.
Yeah, so the room that you've popped into, it looks like some sort of lab.
Cool.
You see that there are tables around with, again, everything's covered in cobwebs. It looks like some stuff was hastily taken away. You see a bunch of half-finished experiments that have sat for a very, very long time. Some decay, not a ton of decay, because this place has been well sealed.
Sealed. There's a pitch drop experiment that's only dropped maybe 2 more times.
And you see a few more of those wispy figures, those ghost-like shapes.
Are they doing science?
They appear to be doing science.
Good for them. But there's no other doors to this chamber except the one we came in.
No, they're on the far side. You see, there's another door, and actually, as you go a little bit into this lab, because it's a very large room, you can turn the corner and see there's another door there too. There's a few doors off of this room.
I would love to find a door that mostly goes the way we want it to go.
Sure.
Maybe runs parallel with the hallway.
Yeah, the whole lab sort of turns right, and there's another door that way. As you start heading towards that door, and Baron and Koros, feel free to chime in at any time if anything.
Oh yeah, please.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. As you pass those shapes, those wispy image-like shapes, you actually start to hear some intelligible words and sounds. They're speaking in what y'all might recognize. It sounds like Azemar in Elvish, but it's a little different. It's an older variant of Elvish. But Nadam.
What's that sound like?
I can hear the intent.
It sounds like Tolkien Elvish. There we go.
Oh, damn.
But maybe with a
down.
bit more like hard stops and glottal sounds, like randomly thrown in, like Klingon. I don't know.
Everything's got to be Klingon.
Those things sort of fell out of the language as these other elves were created, and they wanted a more refined tongue. I don't know. There's some noises maybe that Wood Elven or High Elven tongues just can't make, and Dusk Elven tongues could.
Like Swahili.
Ooh, yeah.
Except anyone can learn to speak that. It's just hard.
So you tried.
Listen, there's only one kind of speaking animal on this planet.
You hear
True.
a voice, and it's sort of echoey and hard to make out the exact words, but it sort of comes into focus for a moment. It sounds like they're having an argument. And what's this? We aren't gods. There are limits to what we can do. We created men, and their myths say they were created by gods. Who's to say that's not what we are? You will bring destruction down upon us. They cannot be controlled. And maybe they shouldn't. Resplendent creatures, gods themselves. I designed them to rule, and that's what they'll do. I can't let you do this.
This is already better than any time Skyrim tried to do this exact dungeon.
And the things, they sort of wisp out of focus again, and you miss the rest of it. You do see that those images, the one tries to go for the door, the other goes towards him, and then there's only one wisp, and then they sort of fade.
A murder most foul.
Wonder which one got their way.
Hard to tell.
Yeah, I couldn't tell who was speaking really because it's hard to. It's just kind of all.
I tried to use slightly different voices. Sorry.
No, like I knew that there was 2 people talking, but I don't know which wisp was which.
Yeah.
Creating different beings makes your mind weird. These things have strange morals.
I'm sure they'd say the same about you. Let's go before we talk about more philosophy as we run.
Okay. Oh yeah, good point.
Yeah. There's a bang on the door.
I to avoid confusion about layouts of rooms and minutia of doors, I would like to, whenever possible, move in the same direction the hallway was.
That's fine. I don't have an actual map
Forward.
here. You guys go through another door, and it appears to be just connected to 2 different labs in this case. So you go from one lab into another lab. And in this lab, you see there's that one of those crystals on the wall again, by the door that leads back into the hallway. And it detaches off of the wall and
Rude.
floats and starts floating towards you. As you guys are sort of going from lab to lab through these doors, you hear behind you the door with the thing, and it burst open, and just a crash of broken lab materials, all the science things, tables being knocked aside as this massive orc is barreling through behind you.
Is it spooky and red crystal, or is it like chill? Oh, hello. When's your next appointment, crystal?
It's the crystal is floating past you, and it's floating. It's glowing in that soft blue from before, but all the rooms around you still have the red ambient light.
Maybe the crystal's chill.
As
Maybe
you-
it's like broken.
Nice.
As it floats past
There it
you,
is.
that same voice comes out and says, "You don't need to do this. You could simply submit and return to the museum."
Oh, it's not cool.
No, he doesn't like us at all.
I'm sorry, but that's not going to be possible.
It floats back a bit because Nadam's in the lead because he's the fastest, and it floats back over to Burnham and say, "You seem much more reasonable. We don't need
He's
to
not.
resort to violence."
You don't know me. Don't make me smash you.
This
Don't
is
want to hit a crystal. You look very pretty. You're very large.
this is simply one conduit of my intelligence. Destroying this crystal would not result in my destruction.
Wait, hold on. There's a whole bunch of you?
Yes. And as you
to
like
bring
go
the
through the
guards
door in the next room, that crystal like gets pulled back to its spot on the wall, and as you enter the next room, there's a crystal in the next room that comes up its mountain and floats over to you guys, and the conversation just continues.
So more accurately, there's actually exactly one of you.
Precisely. I am the custodian.
Well, in that case, directory service, please. Could you direct us to the portal?
Of course. No, wait. For a moment, a map appears in front of you, and then it says, "No, wait," and it pulls away.
If only one of us had the keen mind feat. The most useless feat.
Tide of Ilis says, "I've committed the map to memory. This way."
Oh, good, he's got it.
You see the crystal like points at Tide of Ilis. It glows red for a soft second, and it goes back to blue, and it hovers back. And it says,
Maybe you should talk to him next. He's probably reasonable too.
"Really, this doesn't have to be this way. If you don't have an appointment or you were late for your original appointment, we can schedule a new one. There's an
Over
opening
right
in
now.
right now."
I'll take that one.
Ding! Whoosh, the lights all turn back to the previous thing, and the crystal says, "This way, please," and leads you towards a different door than Tide of Ilis is leading you towards.
No.
Tide of Ilis says, "The power source is this way."
I mean, yes, little crystal custodian, we were going to the power source.
"No, you made an appointment with the curator."
Is the curator in the building?
"No, but you can wait for him in his office."
Oh, we'll wait for him at the power source. Let's go.
Ding.
He'll come through.
"No, not satisfactory." It starts floating towards you guys again. You guys go through the next door. It snaps back. Another one comes out in the next room.
Well, how about you call him, and when he gets here, he can be mad at us.
What an excellent idea. I will now contacting curator. Curator not found. Now
What? Oh.
contacting nearest
For a second, I thought you were going to have screwed up, Nadal.
nearest chief scientist. Chief scientist not found.
I think
Contacting
this is going to buy us a lot of time.
nearest
But it's going to
nearest
summon a dusk elf.
nearest high authority dusk elf. Found 874.372 miles away.
Guys,
Sending.
we've got a problem. That's still on the plane.
Yeah, and it's the Emperor of Azemar.
Whatever. We'll burn that bridge when we come to it.
Yes, let's now move very quickly.
I'm just trying to motivate you two. I'm barely jogging.
How come these Ruspal's infamy and vileness is all in the Emperor's place anyway? I guess we
You're
don't know.
asking me or the
We
crystal?
don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Do we know how far away the Emperor is? Does it match that number?
Roughly, like, yeah, if you were to guess, like, how far Azai is, it's about
I'm
that distance
hoping-
away.
I'm hoping it did not contact the Emperor. It contacted like a distant descendant of the janitor of this building.
It would be super funny if it contacted Imral.
Like by some strange twist of bureaucracy, he is technically the person in charge of this facility. After going down, 15,000, the ladder of succession.
Oh man, I got to tell you guys my weird succession story after this. Remind me.
All right. As you guys go into the next room, right before the crystal snaps back, it says, Dusk Elf en route. Snaps back. It doesn't float up to you in the next room.
Uh-oh.
Let's move quickly.
Well, can't wait to find out who it contacted.
I cast haste on us.
And the orcs?
Done that a while ago.
How many
of them
targets?
are left with us?
Let's
Someone
say that there are 6 left with you.
I'm sorry, haste you can only cast on one person.
Oop.
My legs are shortest. I cast it on me.
All right. You guys head through a couple more labs. You get to the end of the hall. You find another staircase. You head down another level.
Great. It's a bigger orc.
When you get into this level, it actually opens into like a massive, a large space that seems almost warehouse-like. You see around there are massive containers, sealed, hard to tell what's in them. But hanging up in the ceiling, you see
The Ark of the Covenant.
hundreds of these crystals holding
Uh-oh.
various creatures in all sorts of shapes and sizes.
I don't think we can find all of those if they decide to turn them on.
That's all right. We're waiting for the Dusk Elf.
Yeah.
Tide of Isla says, "This way. We're only a short way from the power source."
Well,
What's
lead on.
Tidivitus look like?
Very trustworthy friend.
Tide of Islas?
Yeah.
I've got a picture of him actually. Give me just a moment. Demons, no devils.
No, I don't want the medieval pictures of him.
No, hold on. I'll get. It'll be right here in just a second.
Was Tidevitus a real name?
He's most of the archdevils are named after real.
Tide of Islas.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Hey, Quaros, he's got goat legs.
That's why we get along. So much in common.
He's got a cool sword.
Okay, I don't have that.
He doesn't
cool
currently
staff.
have the. Cool
I do have a
sword.
cool staff, which is what turned me into a goat.
I'm following our devil friend.
As you guys are running across this massive, like almost like a hangar-sized space.
Like end of Captain America.
Yeah. You hear a familiar behind you, and as you look back, give me perception checks to see what you can make out.
You do love to make checks. It's the good stuff.
It's Nadam's mother. Dang it!
Drop down.
Every time I look back at this page, it refreshes.
Aha! I set mine.
Barum?
Trying to find the damn button. There we go. It's not blue.
Baronum, you look back and you see some dudes in cloaks. Koros, Nadam, you both look back. You see in blue robes, standing in front of several mages in red robes, the familiar shape of Vizerin Devere.
That's really bad.
Could have
It's
been
nice
better.
knowing you guys.
Could have been better.
And
But
as
we
he,
have an archdevil with us.
and
Kind
as
of
he,
Violet, how far are we?
Worried. It's just a bunch of guys with spears.
and Tide of Violet looks back and he says, "Friend of yours?"
Unfortunately, yes.
More of a casual acquaintance, really.
And by that, we want to kill him really bad, and he wants to kill us really bad.
You see Vizerin Devere, he reaches his arm out, and one of the larger crystals, rumbles in the ceiling for a minute, and then falls and crashes down to the ground. It shatters. And what sort of massive, terrifying creature would be?
Cocker Spaniel.
You get some points for trying. There's no doubt about that.
Dire Mouse.
That's basically a rat.
Yeah, Dire Mouse. That's just a rat.
A giant.
Like 15 chihuahuas.
A
Reason
massive.
for that number specifically, or
Come on, dinosaur.
A massive storm giant.
That's not ideal.
Boom, crashes down. He's like kneeling on the ground in like a superhero landing, and he stands up, and he's got this massive great sword. And you see he looks around confused for a moment, and then Vizerin Devere, you hear his voice, even though he's on the far side, he speaks softly, but you hear it all the way down on the end of this warehouse where you're running, and he says, "Stop them."
No, don't.
I'd like everybody to roll initiative.
All right.
oh,
Crap.
I forgot to do that thing.
Oh,
Can I
let me
get a
bring up the
tracker?
initiative tracker. Yeah, sorry. Bloop bloop. There we go.
Blip blop. Blip blop.
Blah da bloop, blue da
get
blop,
Quaros on there.
blop blop blop
Let's
bloop.
get not Aridin Burnham on there. Let's get Nadam on there.
Nice initiative, Baronum. That's balanced.
What? I rolled a 3?
What? 27? What?
At +9. You get like bonus to it or something.
He's got
As War Wizard.
15. They broke the padding on the names in the initiative tracker. Oh, come on, roll 20. And then let me add one more of these. Great. Sorting descending. Burnham, you get to go first.
So Vizerin and that crew is coming from behind us in a hallway, is that right?
So no, you're in like a massive, like
Chamber.
open, like hangar bay sized room. It's like a massive warehouse. Around you guys, there are boxes, piles of crates and boxes, and there's all sorts of paths between them. There's sort of a main path down the center, which is what you guys have been running along to the far side of this long, hangar bay like warehouse. You may be like halfway across the room. And there's various little like paths that cut off among the boxes around you, and hanging above in the ceiling are all of these hundreds of these crystals containing creatures inside of them. Right, like next to y'all, falling in a crystal, landing between some of these crates, smashing some of the crates alongside, is this massive storm giant.
Okay. How far away is Vizerin, those people?
Vizerin and those people are
Really
many, like hundreds of feet behind you.
Hundreds of feet. Okay, cool.
Yeah, they're quite far behind you.
Okay,
The storm
cool.
giant's right in front of you.
Yeah. In that case, I'm going to... He's a storm giant, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I think I'm actually
Power
going
word, kill storm giant.
to... Power word, kill storm giant.
Really
That's a good one.
specific spell, but I'm so glad that today he prepared it.
Oh man, I don't even know what to do with this thing. I kind of want to fight it. No, I'm just going to I'm going to try to reduce it actually.
Ooh.
Ooh!
Make it small because I don't like these things. They're too big. Bring you
I
down
want
to
to
size.
see my little boy.
It's only 30-foot range. Can I? Oh, I'm hasted. I can definitely run up to it, even if it's kind of far.
He's probably about 30 feet away anyway, so.
Perfect. Yeah, from right here, then I'm just going to.
He's Vizerin picked a
Reduce
crystal
on it.
near enough to y'all.
Nice, and he needs a
Or
Constitution saving throw.
Constitution save? He's pretty good at those. What's the DC?
19.
Oh, he rolled very poorly. 13.
Yes.
He's got a plus 10 on that, too.
Cool.
And now he is.
So everything it's wearing does change with it, but
He shrinks down one size, right?
Yeah. He halves in size basically.
So he goes
Which,
from
I don't-
huge to large.
Yeah. Cool. He's still big.
He's still big, but
I
what
thought that might do more.
what penalties come with that?
It's going to. It has disadvantage on strength checks and saving throws,
Cool.
which I think.
Includes attacks.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry, and 1d4 less damage. That's all. That's all it is.
Cool.
I'll take it.
Sorry, no, an attack isn't a strength check, so
No.
Does it not count?
He just has 1d4 less damage when he attacks.
cool.
All right. That's fine. I didn't want to do much anyway.
Yeah, so he can still hit just as well, but I'm also going to reduce his speed because his legs aren't as big.
All right.
Normally his speed is 50 because he's so big. I'm going to take that down to, let's say, 40.
Sounds very reasonable.
And then if he was medium, that'd be 30, which is normal medium creature speed.
But not me.
No, you're not a normal medium creature.
I'm a weird medium creature.
All right, Koros.
Well, now that he's all shrinky shrink, I'm going to. How tall is this warehouse?
Very tall.
Okay, that's probably fine. I think I am going
Think
to.
like an aircraft hangar, like huge.
Gotcha.
Think like
I'm
one of the
gonna-
big rooms in Monsters Inc. with the doors hanging, except instead of doors, they're crystals.
Okay, yeah. That works. Then I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna do. Where's my spell? Wall of Light. Wall of Light.
Nice.
So like put it, I guess, right in front of him, or I'll just put it so it spawns through him. I guess. Why not?
Nice. You put it like on top of him.
Yeah.
Bright light shields his eyes.
Yeah. So he's got to make a con save. On a failure, 48 radiant damage and blinded for a minute,
And then half if he succeeds.
and not blinded.
Cool. What's the DC?
19? No, 21. Jeez, when did my DC get so high?
He rolled really badly again. 14. He fails.
All right.
Give me some radiant damage.
Ooh,
15.
Nice.
He is
blinded
blind for a
creatures.
minute. Can make a con save at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on a success.
blinded creatures can't make opportunity attacks, which is cool.
Yeah. Awesome. He's gonna stumble forward towards where y'all were and make a swing. I'm gonna make an attack with disadvantage, and then I'm gonna roll D3 to see which of you he's aiming towards.
And Pedophiles is just like, poof.
Yeah, Tedivillus, like, just flaps up into the air and away.
No,
Dude
I
is
mean, that's
full
what I would
on
do if I
out.
could do that.
In fact, Tedivillus vanishes.
That is what I would do if I could do that.
And you guys are like, what the fuck?
Useless.
Yeah, he says, keep running towards the far end, and then whew, vanishes. And he's-
Helpful.
Thanks.
Disadvantage. So a 21 to hit. Now let's see which one of you. You've also got 6 orcs with you.
Mhm.
I'm gonna roll 1d9.
Or a Yeah, well,
3 of you, 6 orcs.
I don't know. I was going to say D4 see if it hits a orc.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
4. That's an orc. Because you guys are 1, 2, 3. He whoom, choom, just swings down, whoo, cleaves into an orc. Like the orc gets picked up by the sword and chopped in two as it's thrown in the air.
Disadvantage on that part.
But this storm giant just keeps going, so he thunders past y'all, stepping over a bunch of the orcs, swinging, taking out that one. Swings again as he's lumbering through y'all. 24, even with disadvantage. Let's roll now D8 to see who it hits. 5, another orc. So just shoom, shoom. He just scoops up and kills 2 orcs, but then lumbers past y'all and into a pile of boxes.
Bowling pin sounds.
As a bunch of boxes fall all around. Give me dexterity saving throws
I'm good at those.
I'm not.
as boxes tumble down towards y'all.
I'm
I only got a
also
4.
actually okay at them. Ugh, not good at that one.
Nadam Burnham, you are fine. Koros, you take 1 damage as some splinters fly at you.
Ah!
I can
Because I
survive
rolled
that.
badly.
Snakes are never good.
From behind you, those mages, you see them teleport forward.
Crap.
With what
Dang
you
it, Dimension
recognize
Door.
as Dimension Door, which is an action, right? Not
Yes.
a bonus action, unfortunately. But they teleport to be in front of all of you. They're now between you and the far door. Between you and them, there are paths that lead off into the sort of maze of boxes to your right and left, instead of down this main path between the boxes, if you wanted to go around them. But the mages are now between you and your exit.
Stupid
Visser and
mages.
Devere are still back in the distance. What does he do? Give me just a moment. Flipping around the monster manual real quick.
He does some flips.
Mm-hmm.
A monk going last. How strange.
Yeah, look at that. What is he going to do? Visser and Devere. He's just gonna reach up and crash down another massive crystal from the ceiling. What other sorts of cool, large creatures?
It should be something that none of us have ever seen before, like something that it only exists down here, like a dinosaur giant, or like I don't know.
A massive, creepy ass centipede-looking creature
Oh no, a Remoraz.
Oh, dude, Roman's fucking insane.
crashes on top of some boxes up and to the left of the, up and to the right of the mages on top of the boxes. The crystal comes down, it shatters this thing, skitters up, comes up, looks around, sees all of you. You hear Vizerin's voice again. Stop them. And when it, starts heading towards y'all.
That's no
Nadam,
good. So that thing, I'm running down this sort of
center.
trench,
Yeah.
and to the right there's a giant ice fire centipede.
Yeah, to the right, up on some of the boxes, right? Giant ice centipede thing. Straight ahead in the trench, 3 of
Mages.
the arcane mages. Behind you and to your right, this storm giant who crashed into the boxes. And sort of between where you are right now and the next set of boxes that has the Remmerhaz and the mages, there's a path to the left and a path to the right that head off into the boxes, and you can see that there's, it's like a maze almost in there.
I'm going to 2 little throwing knives at one of the mages.
Great, give me some rolls.
Do. 16
That hits.
for 10 pointy damage,
Cool.
and then 14 pointy damage
Cool, to the same one.
to the same one. And then I'm
Alright.
going to duck to the left into the boxes.
You duck into the left of the boxes. You zig left, zig right, zig left, zig right. You're just sort of it's it's not the most straightforward path, but you're making your way around these mages.
Hopefully throwing them off my tail.
Yeah.
I let go of the reduce on the giant, so he gets big and bonks his head, and then I'm like, no, stop him! Dominate beast.
Ooh, on the Remmerhaz?
Yeah, but it gets advantage because, but it's a wisdom save, so whatever, I don't care because
It is
fighting it.
not good at wisdom.
We haven't attacked it.
What's the DC?
19.
Nice. So 2d20, drop lowest 1.
Favorite part about 5e is that I can cast low-level spells with high saves.
Nat 20. It would have been so cool.
Oh man,
Is that 2 in a row?
That's two tonight.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's 2, not quite in a row, because that was the second roll of the advantage.
Oh, okay.
Why
We
does it
got
get
some
advantage?
nice low rolls.
Because we're fighting it.
We're not. We haven't fought the Rimmeraz though.
Well, he told it to fight us.
It's
So I-
friendly
Oh, okay.
to if you or creatures that are friendly to you are fighting it. No, sorry. So you haven't fought it yet. It's been told to stop you. Fighting hasn't happened yet, so I'm going to say you don't get advantage. So I'm actually going to go with the first roll of those 2,
Oh, okay,
which
cool.
was a 4.
Neat.
So what's your
Oh,
command?
Stop him! to visit.
To Vizerin.
That'll,
Ooh.
that'll do it.
No.
I know he's far away, but
I thought you were going to say to
whatever.
the Storm Giant.
Vizerin's just gonna like point at it and be like, "Die."
That's okay. That means he can't point at us and be like, "Die."
There.
Rimmer was looking down at you, but it turns up and its eyes lock on Vizerin in the distance. And where do you go,
Great.
Bernham?
I'm going to keep on running. Nadam's fighting people in front or
No,
by the
not
boxes?
fighting. He turned left through, like a little gap in the piles of boxes, between 2 piles, and then is now zigzagging between piles of boxes. Think like when there's storage containers, and there's just sort of random paths between them, on like a port area where those old big cranes are, kind of like that, just zigzagging between them, going in the same general direction.
Cool.
But-
I'm going to try to get his general direction. I don't care if I follow him exactly.
Yeah.
But
And you're
towards-
hasted, so you've got additional actions, right?
That's concentration, so it's already up.
Cool. All right, so you run, and at your double speed or whatever from haste, you can catch up with Nadam.
He's not hasted.
Yeah, because I have to concentrate.
Sorry, I thought you were saying. Got it. Okay,
No
so
worries.
all right, so you run into the boxes with a jog. You turn the first corner, and you're just way behind Nadam.
30 feet. Next turn, another 30 feet. I can keep this up.
Dwarves are natural sprinters,
Oh, it's 25 feet. Oh,
All right, Quaros.
Baronum, don't take this the wrong way, but if we have to do this at your leg speed, we are all dead. I'm going to run up to Baronum and then dimension door us both.
Polymorph him into an emu.
That's not helpful at all.
They're much faster.
It would be funny. What's the
Roadrunner.
What's the farthest away I can see that looks like it's actually safe to teleport into? In the correct direction.
So you can't see very much because when you get up to where Bernham is, you're
boxes.
in a much tighter valley between these boxes. There's not very much you can see. You can see maybe up onto the boxes. If you look up, you can see much further because there's a really high ceiling. So you could maybe get up onto some of those crystals up there, but you can't really see the ground very far away. You can only see the area up where there's these these crystals are sort of hanging, and there's these sort of claw-like things holding them up, just like the Monsters Inc. door things, right? They're just sort of hanging
Right.
from the ceiling in some sort of mechanism up there. You think that maybe you could get up there, and at an angle, so further towards your destination, but then you'd be up in the air.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of up in the air. Alright, instead I'll just make both of us invisible.
Ooh, cool.
Forgot I could do that. Needing to set levels is annoying.
Cool.
And that just misses the wall of light, because that's a concentration spell.
Gotcha. And the wall of light's somewhere back over there anyway.
Yeah.
Cool. The storm giant lumbers around. The orcs are jogged after you, and then we're wait, where'd he go? No, in
Rip.
fact, the orcs didn't jog after you. The orcs charged at the mages. That's absolutely what the orcs would do.
Welp. It's good
And
while it lasted.
die, vile servants of Rooseball!
This is turning into a theme.
Maybe they'll get one.
And they start swinging at the mages. The mages bring up their
Shield.
and start spells. The Remmer has like goes in this big arcing motion up off the boxes, down the side of them, and then scurries in this little, creepy zigzag. I'm gonna do another Monsters Inc. reference, like that the bad guy in Monsters Inc. He like slinks on the
Randall.
ground. Randall, yeah, it slinks and is heading towards Vizer and Devere. It's
He casts Power Word Kill Remoraz, which he has prepared today.
you joke, but he does
Great
have
forethought.
Power Word Kill prepared, so that's what he does.
Oh.
You just zoom in on him.
The Remoraz is heading towards Vizer and Devere. Vizer and Devere, you
perish.
see him. Well, none of you see him, but I'll just describe it to you. He just walks slowly forward. He reaches up his hand to point at it, and actually, I think he's got Finger of Death too. So one or the other of those spells. He just reaches up, points at the Remoraz. This bolt of lightning crackles out towards it, and the Remoraz just flat out.
Does it like Thanos snap dust, or is it like
I imagine.
splattered on all the walls?
So Finger of Death would splatter it. I think Power Word Kill would like Thanos it, right? Like,
Yeah.
in fact, that's what it is. He reaches up. He says it's essentially the word kill in this ancient, arcane, forgotten language. Snaps his fingers.
Ash.
Remoraz turns to
Nice.
ash.
That's so
Nice.
cool. It's been cool every time I've seen it.
All right, Nadam.
How high are these stacks of boxes?
Quite high. What are you looking for?
Are they like more than like 50 feet high?
Yes, but there are like varying heights, so you could like get up one and then get up another. They're definitely climbable because there's.
I can run up vertical surfaces.
Yeah.
I was just my idea was I would run up and like take a pot shot at something and then pop back down to like distract them from my buddies.
The other thing that you realize is that if you went up on top, you'd be running and jumping over these and getting more of a straight line.
But then they'd shoot at me.
True dat.
I'm going to draw my sword. Run as far forward as I can.
Mhm.
Which is 110 feet. And then I'm going to bonus action dodge, because I know something's going to teleport in here and be a problem.
All right.
That's me.
So you're continuing to zigzag between the boxes.
Yeah, as far as I can.
I was imagining the really cool. You go up, you turn around, shoot the arrow, and like backwards dive back in.
I would, but like
No, yeah, I get it.
one of them definitely has a held action to like murder me.
All right, Burnham.
We're invisible, so I'm just going to mostly run in whatever direction we're going. I'm a bit confused, and so's Barum, but I think we're going towards Nadam. And I want to try to find like a big rock or something on the way, like anywhere on the ground, just a big heavy object, like not that big.
You're gonna find a rock. There's plenty of massive crates. These are piles of big crates.
Yeah,
You can see like there's one labeled Ark of the Covenant, and it looks nice and large and heavy.
Are any of them open with stuff in them? I need, like a heavy thing. I don't care what.
I mean, the box itself is quite heavy.
I can't. I gotta be able to hold it. I'm gonna use it to. I'm gonna catapult something later.
Something carryable.
Yeah.
A lot of these boxes are sealed, so you'd have to break one open, which would require you to like sort of stop moving and open one.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we are invisible. If there's a small one, I might do that actually instead of running.
You can also grab like just the whole small box.
Okay. Yeah. If it's light enough, I'll just do that.
Yeah, there's
That's
probably
fine.
one that's like like moving box sized, right? Like
Where are we going? Oh, I can't see.
you grab it, you pick it up. Yeah, it's like in front of your face, and you're like running. Yeah.
I would love it if Burnham is able to cast catapult on the thing inside the box, and it like pops the top off and shoots out, and we find out what it is.
Machine gun Sharkwick. Bang, 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 bang. Just catapult each thing.
Ooh. Awesome. Cool. You grab that. You keep running. Anything else you'd like to do?
No, that's it.
All right. Koros. You can't see Burnham, but you do see a floating box.
Love a good box. I'm gonna trust that Burnham's magic tricks work and don't need my help, and I'm gonna keep probably just double move in the direction of getting the heck out of here.
All right. You zigzag between the boxes, and you're going to
Yeah,
continue
yeah.
heading that way. You hear in the background the storm giant sort of crashing around, still blinded because it's for a whole minute, right? So,
It actually gets a save at the end of its turns.
all right,
I forgot to bring that up. So I think it should have gotten a con.
it's fine.
Yeah, that's the thing.
He rolls
and the
badly
thing
again.
with
Damn,
the
he rolled a
thing.
3, a 4, and then a 5, and he's got a plus 10.
It's that summoning sickness. He's been frozen too long.
Yep,
You do
that's
love
it.
to see it.
Do. Ooh, that looks cool. All right. So, yeah, you hear him lumbering and crashing into things back there. You hear also the death cries of several orcs, who are definitely getting wrecked by those mages. But you also hear the death cry of something that's not an orc. Maybe a mage.
Really?
They got one.
That seems weird, but not complaining.
All right. However,
I'm really hoping something teleports next to me so I can have a cool close quarters sword and cantrip battle with them.
you see floating very quickly over the tops of the boxes down the center trench, just sort of levitated and flying. You see Visser and Devere.
Damn it.
It's floated up into the air and is flying very quickly over the tops of his mages. And you see him looking down, and he locks his eyes on the Dom.
Anytime Tadavellus wants to help, I'd love it. Maybe he'll try to kill me with weak summoned monsters.
Nadum.
Well, I could shoot him with an arrow. There's no these boxes are stacked. There's no ledges to hide under.
Nothing to hide under. Yeah, I mean they're stacked, and so some of them get smaller as they stack up, but none of them have underhangs or anything, right?
So nowhere to hide under that. He's flying, so it'd be really hard for me to break line of sight with him. And I don't know where my buddies are.
Correct.
I think I'm gonna do some cool hop off of some stuff to get a clear line of sight on him, and then bow 2 arrows at once and then try to land again.
Absolutely. You can essentially do the Mario, jumping off the sides of the boxes back and forth.
Yeah.
Right? You jump. Your last jump, you turn, you spin, you fire the arrows, and then you tuck and roll onto the ground and keep running.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me those rolls.
Number 1.
Bloop, bloop. 26 hits. For
Number
12 damage.
2.
15 does not hit.
Then let me re-roll that because I'm a monk.
Sorry, what?
I can do that now.
Is that a key point?
Nope.
Or did you get to reroll misses?
Once a round, I get to re-roll a miss.
Nice. 23 does hit.
There we go.
Nice.
Who else in the party has damaged Visser and Devere?
We've seen him a lot, man. I'm honestly not sure.
First blood.
It seems like that's not first blood, but I can't be sure.
All right. Burnham.
I'm sure he just knocks them out of the way.
I don't know what to do. We're still invisible. Where are there still a lot of people around us, or are we kind of out of the way now?
It's just you two. So the mages and the orcs are fighting in that center area. You guys are off on the left in sort of the smaller passages between the boxes.
All right, then. Yeah, I guess you know what what I'm going to do is wherever Vizerin is, I'm going to catapult this box into the like tubes above him and knock them down
Ooh,
onto
to
him.
knock some of the
Yeah.
crystals down
Ooh.
onto him.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Give
and I
me
think
that.
it's it does 3d8 damage if it hits. I don't know how to determine if it hits on this one.
We'll say it's easy because you're hitting a stationary target.
Cool.
You cast catapult on the thing inside the box. It crashes out of the box. It shoots out. You see it's one of those crystals that was mounted in the walls before. And you hear as it zips away, oh my!
What?
As it crashes into a crystal up there. And you see 3 or 4 of the smaller crystals detach from the thing and fall down onto Vizerin.
Nice.
As they sort of crash into him, you see he's knocked to the side in the air, and as the things crack on the ground,
Giant shark.
you see. Tell me what 3 creatures pop out.
A
Second
land
blood.
shark.
A land shark? No, medium
yeah.
creatures.
Oh, medium creatures. I don't know.
A
What
knoll.
magical? What?
A knoll.
A knoll. That's a
knoll
good one.
sounds
How about a
good.
kuotoa?
Yes, perfect.
Oh, yeah.
That's the kuotoa.
He's very excited to be here.
Oh, it's a shark, dude. And something poisonous. What's a
Ooh, like a
poisonous
big spider.
Yeah, that's perfect. Like a giant venomous spider. That's perfect.
So now between you and where Nadam is, up where Vizerin is floating in the sky, there is now the spider lands on the side of the boxes. The kuotoa sort of lands on his feet at the bottom and
Don't worry, that's like less than 1 CR total.
and the knoll lands on top of some of the boxes and goes up and like 'cause they're jackals basically. What? Or hyenas, I mean. What?
Yeah.
You know what time we're usually done, Lo? We're trying to be done at the normal time, yeah. All right.
Lily, have you heard of our show?
I really like it.
You hear Theo trying to check in over comms, but it just crackles.
That's canon.
All right.
I did my part, and then I keep running.
Koros.
Let that be a lesson to you, wizard.
Behave, you'll get a box in your face. No, I'm still just gonna book.
All right.
Just keep going. What's up with the storm giant? What's his deal right now?
He's still blundering
What are you
around
doing?
back there, crashing into
Okay.
things. Not a threat
Right.
anymore. You do see the 2 mages. There are 2 mages remaining. One of them got taken down by the orcs, but then they finished dispatching the orcs. And
Right.
you see that they've turned and are heading towards where y'all are. Actually, you can't see any of that. So
I can't. That's the yeah. Done.
The
I
audience
almost,
can.
I
The
almost
audience
had a
can see
fun
that.
plan for the storm giant, but that's fine. All right.
he's been failing his saves. So
I
I
don't
like
know,
it when
man.
it's edited like a movie.
Do you guys want to try to fight this out, or are we just gonna duck for it?
Don't we just need to get farther in and find?
Yeah, I think so.
you guys
I think
have
I'm
made some
gonna-
good progress. You're almost at the far
Yeah,
end where the door is.
I'm just gonna keep moving.
All right, cool.
Since-
You just book it.
Yep.
You
Still
see
invisible.
you see the Kuotoa, and you just sort of run past him. You're invisible.
Poor Kortoa. He tried.
The mages, you see, some boxes in front of you explode as one of them casts a fireball just into the boxes from the center. The boxes explode out and debris flies out in front of y'all. Baranum and Quaros, I'd like you to make dexterity saving throws.
My favorite thing to make. Actually, mine aren't that bad.
Oof. I don't. Never mind. It won't matter. 11 won't help me anyway.
Quaros?
Did I not make mine?
Oh, sorry, it's right there. Oh, sorry.
18, yeah.
Cool. Koros, you duck and roll out of the way and are only hit by some debris. Fireball's 5d8 usually?
Fireball is 8d6.
Damn.
Yeah.
We're gonna do less than that
Shoot
because these are
fireball?
boxes. It's a bit of fire. It's fiery boxes falling on you, not the direct fireball.
8d4?
Okay.
Ooh, all right, yeah, let's do 8d4. I was gonna do 4d6, but I like having the science. That's fun. So, Burnham, you take 23 damage from falling fiery boxes. Koros, you take half
Sorry, half of how much?
of 23, so
Okay.
11.
11, yeah.
And then
I've got some of those.
Another one turns down one of the side halls and just creates a wall of force
Ooh.
that cuts off between. No, actually, one of them goes forward. Puts a wall of force in front of Nadam.
Is
Pong.
within 60 feet of me?
You can't see him directly.
Ah, okay.
There's a bunch of boxes between you and him. He ran down that center trench and then turned down one of the side trenches and just wall of force out to the end of the thing.
All right.
Doo-doom. Vizerin reaches out a finger as he's flying and he points down at Nadam. And a crackle of necrotic energy
Crap.
shoots out of his finger. I need a Constitution saving throw, Nadam.
Crap.
You know which character I really
A
miss right
bunch.
now?
Ooh! So you only
Damn.
take half of what I'm about to roll.
Oh.
Half of 57 damage,
Oh, God.
which is 25 and 3, so 28 damage.
Minus 28.
This massive bolt of necrotic energy shoots out of his finger. And,
I think I like block it with my shield, with my sword, and like redirect most of it.
some of it just gets sent off into the boxes, and but some of it reverberates down your sword and into your arms, and you can feel your strength in your arms leaving you.
I stopped half of it.
But then, you hear a voice in your ear. All three of you hear a voice whisper to you. You recognize the voice of Titavilas. And he says, "Look out." As in the center, to the side, falling and crashing on top of those two mages, most massive crystal y'all have seen yet, hits the ground, crashes open,
It's a kraken.
and a massive black
Need a quick hand.
dragon
It is a dragon.
unfurls its wings and just
Oh, that's acid. That's not poison.
yeah, that's acid, not poison, correct.
I can't control that one.
You all are going to have advantage on this dexterity saving throw because Titavilas warned you it was coming.
That's kind of you.
You guys had a chance to duck behind some boxes.
Oof.
Only
Take cover.
16.
Whiffed. Oof.
Airball for me. I'm taking some acid
Advantage.
damage. Oh,
Good things will not happen.
Advantage. Yeah.
we did it again. 2 better.
Good thing I got it.
Good thing. All right, so.
Is this an ancient black dragon?
Basically.
Mechanically.
I think this one is just adult, not ancient.
Okay. Then I might be okay with an 18.
In fact, with an 18, you are okay.
Nice. No
so
damage
you'll
for
only
me.
take half, but because you're a monk, you take it down to nothing.
I think only Koros took damage.
Yeah, the tanky one they call.
Koros is going to take the full damage here, though. But so is Vizir and Devere.
Nice.
Eat a
Koros.
dick, Viz. I'm calling him Viz from now on.
Ooh. Fuck.
That's damage.
62 damage.
The damblage.
Are there
Baron,
any
you take
rules for, like,
half of that.
more than half of your health things?
You
There
throw
were
up.
back in the day.
That's an optional rule in 5th that I don't play with.
You
I
throw up
appreciate
right
that
now.
right now.
But what you
Just
see
on
is that
stream.
Vizerin, he takes cover, he gets hit by it, and you see him blink away. Much
Wonder
further
where he
back
went.
in the room.
Oh, okay.
This bastard has contingencies.
Also, Nadam, as you duck behind the boxes, you see that
like,
wall of
maybe-
force drops as the dragon crushes the other mages.
I'm like, oh, good, wall of force will protect me. Uh-oh. And then I whip like a lid from a box and like hide behind it.
You grab this box, you grab the lid off, and the lid is adamantine.
I'm like, okay.
All right, Nadam, there is now nothing between you and the exit.
I want to get there. Start solving any problem that's there before my buddies show up.
Boom, you get to the exit, you open the door, you see that there's that familiar crystal in the wall, and it floats off, and it says, "You really shouldn't be here."
I'm not talking to you right now.
But the stairs lead down.
Okay. I will wait here for my friends.
Burnham.
I don't know what to do next. The wall is down, so I don't need to just.
Wall of force is down. Yeah. Vizerin is quite far behind you. There is a dragon to your right, but you could just keep running past it.
I'm going to keep running past it, and I'm going to cast a wall of ice in between us and the dragon.
Nice. Excellent.
Nice. Path of least resistance. is
Koros,
back
I presume
the
you're
other
doing the
way.
same?
Yeah.
Cool. You guys run forward. You bring this wall up, of ice between you, and you make a break for the center aisle and are heading to that back door. You're almost there. You see Vizerin is going to cast Power Word Stun. Power Word Stun. I gotta look up what that one does because I don't remember all the details.
It stuns people.
Yes.
Just trying to help.
Hardcore.
I just need to double check what the save and stuff is. Oh, interesting. He doesn't do Power Word Stun because he knows the limits of Power Word Stun and he knows about dragons. Power Word Stun doesn't have a save. It's just if it has 150 hit points or fewer, it's stunned. Actually, no. Let's see. He says another word. He points at the dragon. He snaps. Nothing happens.
Like it resists it.
The dragon recharges on a 5 or a 6, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, on a that's on a D6, right?
Yes.
/R1D6 doesn't recharge. The dragon instead is just gonna rumble towards Vizerin. And you guys see it just swinging down at him, and Vizerin is like flying backwards. Or I guess swinging up at him as Vizerin flies backwards and away from it. This will slow Vizerin down for a bit, certainly.
It's got something to do for a little while.
And then we get back to y'all's turns, and y'all are able to make it to the door and down the stairs. I'm going to take us out of initiative order.
Okay.
All right.
They'll never get through that wall.
As you come to the stairs and you start coming down, and you're like trying to take account of who's still there, Tida Vilas appears, and next to him he's holding one of the orcs. He goes, "Oh, I want you to take me away from the fight for." And he says, "You're still needed." And he pushes him down the stairs.
That's ominous.
And you all head
All the
down.
traps go off as he tumbles down the stairs.
Chung, chung, chung.
And that, children, is what the leadership feat is for.
No traps on these stairs. But this crystal has been incessantly talking in your ear the whole time, Nadam.
And will not shut up.
As you guys head down the stairs and come down the next room, there's a hallway a few doors off of it, large ornate doors in the far hallway, and Tida Vilas says, "This is where we're going."
I just forgot I have an ability that lets me reroll saving throws.
That's really good.
Fucking monks.
You all go down to those large double doors, and as you get to them, Tidavilis turns to the orc and he points at the doors. And the orc goes, "Oh, no, I've seen this one before. It's trapped, and I'm going to get stabbed or smashed or something else. You do it." And he says,
May I inspect it for traps quickly?
"Yeah,
Make a quick appraisal
perception check."
with.
Or I guess investigation? I don't know.
I'll
Whatever.
do either.
Whichever you like. I think you
I
want
did perception already.
Oh, sorry, I don't have roll 20 up. There we go. 15. You don't see any obvious traps, though you do see a few runes and sigils, not sigils. Sigil's the place, sigil is the thing. Runes and sigils engraved into the door.
Can I try to scratch out one of the sigils?
You try and eliminate the plane of sigil from existence. It doesn't happen. You go to scratch out the sigil. It's like carved into the door. It's not just drawn on it. Like, not easily scratch outable. Tidavilis says, Roosball has enchanted the door so that only he, his servants, and orcs can open it.
Ah. If I jiggle it, does it not open?
Yeah, you jiggle it. It doesn't open. He
Well, there you
turns to
go.
the orc and he goes,
See, proof I'm not a follower of Roose Paul. I can't open the door.
"Oh, why didn't we think of that?" And he goes, "But
You're
I'm
the
not a
smartest
follower of
one,
Roose Paul
clearly.
either."
But you're an orc.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And I guess I used to be. All right.
Legacy counts.
And he says, "I did get off one of me blood debt.
Hey!
That mage was an elf."
Did you have a storm giant on there? We could go back
That
and get it
counts.
afterwards.
A storm giant. Yeah, I got one generic giant blood debt. Any kind will do.
Well, we'll see what we can find you.
All right, we head back in there after.
Later.
My accent is falling apart.
It'll be fun.
He goes, chink, the big double doors open.
And he is reduced to a pile of ash.
And he just, whoa, as the doors open to this massive chamber. Lining the sides of the chamber, you see tons of those crystalline structures, these cages, lining the walls in rows and columns. And what it gives the effect is like you're like on the inside of like a disco ball, like
Inside of like a geode.
like inside a geode or a diamond. It's this beautiful, beautiful effect. And if there was this bright light around, you could imagine how it would twinkle and shine. But instead, in the center of this room is this black pitch darkness, this undulating and moving shape, this portal that's clearly a sprite, because no matter what side you look at it from, it has the same shape. And it's just sort of moving and shifting, and the darkness.
It's a hole in space.
It's like a hole in space.
Dispel magic.
Would you say it's a bit like a hole in space?
Burnham, you cast
Burnham's
Dispel
a
Magic.
go-getter.
Does it work?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Let's get out!
The portal sucks shut. The light that fills this room reflects. It's almost blinding, but then all the ambient light flickers and fades as you've now disconnected the power source for this entire facility.
Oh, we should
Yeah.
go.
It is pitch black. A moment later, you hear this scraping, this like fingernails on a chalkboard, glass on glass scraping.
Backup power source activated.
No.
Big scary demon activated.
That one.
And then you hear the first. You can't see anything because it's pitch black. You're deep underground. You hear the first of these massive crystals slide and fall and shatter on the ground.
Oh, let's go.
And as it hits the ground and bursts open, you see the first bit of light that you can see, and it is coming from inside the gullet of a massive red dragon.
Oh.
As fire
Oh.
burgles beneath.
Dragon fight!
Well, anybody want birria?
A whole bunch of these things sliding, cracking, falling. This whole thing is falling in as dozens
Is it
upon
all dragons?
dozens of massive ancient dragons fall
Oh
out.
no.
You hear this scraping as the rock and the shapes above the chamber start to move and shift. You can just barely see the roof of this chamber as some sort of mechanism, now that the power is gone, as this failsafe is opening, and it's all opening up. And you see very, very high up, eventually these things, they open and open and open. They sort of fall into the open position with no power holding them shut anymore. And the last one opens, and this blinding light of daylight shines down into... Actually, it's not daytime, it's nighttime. Never mind. This beautiful illuminating light of the moon shines down this massive hole, and you see like half the dragons look up, and while some of them begin to fight each other, others start to fly up and out, and you see this beautiful sight as dozens upon dozens of dragons fly up and out.
Guess what? Now
And none of
exists
them-
in West Azemar.
And none of them are like regarding us particularly.
You are so small compared to these things. One of them, most of them are ignoring you. However, one lumbers over to you, and as you guys like start to back up,
I am wearing an amulet of Tiamat. I'm still wearing that.
yeah. One dark. It looks like a black dragon, but it has this sort of wispy, shadowy look to it. And in fact, Koros, you recognize this dragon.
Recognize this dragon.
Yes.
Is this the one I stole a sword from like 1,000 fucking years ago?
Yes.
Dragon Head too.
Yes! How did it get here?
Yeah.
Well, it
Yes!
looks at you, but not with recognition.
That's right, because everyone's a doppelganger.
Exactly.
Is that thing in Barovia?
That
No,
was
it was
in
pre-Barovia.
that was in the Forgotten Realms. Yeah.
Really? Oh, okay.
And it looks
It's a
to
shadow
you,
dragon. It can be anywhere.
and in that familiar voice, it says to you, "It seems I owe you a debt of gratitude, mortals."
I probably kneel.
Absolutely. She gives you a little nod, like of respect for you kneeling, and it says,
I touch the black dragon head and do the little prayer.
"This place is not safe for you. Tell me where you need to be."
We will take any gift you wish to give
Yeah.
out.
Out
Would
of
be
here is our
wonderful.
first priority.
Tida Vilas says, "Well, now would be an excellent time to return to Zengrata. The battle
Might
is
as well.
underway."
I am curious what happened to those people in that first room, the library. Hope they get out.
I'm not curious enough. Vizarin's still back there.
You
True.
hear something crashing behind you, and you think that Vizarin may be breaking his way down through the dark.
Zengrata, ideally, but anywhere but here will do.
And she says, "Consider the debt paid." And she does the familiar somatic component, and y'all are whisked away to Zengrata. And to line up what I said in the last episode, Koros, as you are, right before you teleport, you say in your earpiece to Eridan, "On your right."
All right, now I have to go watch that episode.
And that's where I'm going to leave all of you this week.
Nice.
Viewers, thank you for tuning in and watching. I hope you enjoyed this one as much as I did. Please do comment on the video, message the page, give us your feedback, let us know what you thought. My players, please do send me a rose, thorn, bud. That is the thing you liked, the thing you didn't like, and the thing you're looking forward to. Lincoln, take it away.
And please tune in on Monday for Into the Black, back after a long hiatus because of random travel things and my family. Dang, I have to hang out with my family who I care about. When the players, I believe, are going to answer a call from an old friend who's in trouble but doesn't want to impose and help Bebika out of a tough spot on one of the planets, probably. Anyway, tune in next Monday night.
Verses. It's Verses.
It's Verses, thank you. Monday night.
Too smart.
Same bat time, same bat channel here on Jetsam Academy, 7:15 Pacific time.
All right, PM Pacific time.
AM.
Shut up, guys.
With that, thank you everybody for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye now.
Bye.